I know that we are team positive. We are team positive Tennessee.
We are.
Every time they lose, it is positivity. You know, like you can't help but wear it on your sleeve that like this is going the wrong way. Okay, like I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, and hopefully they can turn it around, but it is going the wrong way, and fast. And let's just take last night for instance. Okay, that's not like a bad loss. That is a disgusting loss. They lost by 14 points to a Detroit Pistons team that was sitting out 8 players. That is just abhorrent. Now, I have said 100,000 times, and it's almost why it irritated me more last night to hear loved the fight that we showed a lot of fight, because they're playing on the second game of a back-to-back and whatever else. I have long told you that is the stuff that I care about, right? That I feel like if you give it what you've got and it's not enough, there's no shame in that. Right, something I have to talk to my kids about all the time, right? That I'm not going to scream at you for messing up, for missing shots, for striking out, whatever it may be. But do not stand there with that bat on your shoulder. Don't let them swing it to you wide open and then freak out and then get rid of the ball. Don't, right? Like, give it what you got. You know what I'm saying? Give it everything you got. And if it's not enough, then so be it. Because you're not always going to be the best. You're not always going to be. And, dude, when I watch that post game and I hear them talk about how much they fought last night, I honestly, I wanted to throw up. That is ridiculous, and I don't know if it's the same game that we're watching. That's ridiculous. That is a Detroit Pistons team sitting 8 guys. They want to lose. They want to lose, and you can't even put up 100 points against them. It's just not just missing shots. And this is what drives me crazy. This is what drives me crazy. And I've been consistent with this over the years. When I am watching a game and I feel like I care more than what I'm watching, that's when I go nuts. And I felt that way last night. Why am I so angry about what is taking place right here? Why am I where is that? Am I crazy? Do you guys who showed fire to you?
They look tired.
Who showed fire? Who was like the one that would say not tonight? This ain't happening.
It looked like this schedule, like we talked about the schedule at the beginning. It looked like the schedule was like finally catching up. All these like one day in between all these games is like it looked like it hit last night a little bit. Like it just didn't, just nothing. Like you just zero battery, for real. That's what it looked like. Zero battery life. It looked dead. I'm tired, man.
And that's why I didn't want to hear about how hard they fought and because that was just
It wasn't true.
It was not true.
Yeah.
Watch that game and you tell me
they were like they
made Corey Joseph look like Chris Paul.
Yeah, Tony Parker out there.
And you saw these. Like, it was so, like, even in crunch time, like, they're going to lose this game. But, like, even you saw at the end, Jaren's trailing that play, and Kyle Anderson just throwing this lazy behind-the-back pass at the top of the key. He just gets picked off and run the other way. Yeah. And it's like, what are we, like, what is happening?
I had enough when we were down, I believe, 101-94 with 2:30 left. JV got called for that offensive 3 seconds. I said, I'm done with this crap. I'm not watching this
I would say one
anymore.
person that did fight last night was Conchar. That's the only person I thought.
He's the one that doesn't play?
Yeah, so he had a little bit of life in him. He had a little bit of life in him last night.
Okay, but here's the thing, okay? I get the whole schedule's brutal. Maybe I'm not letting the schedule be an excuse.
Everybody's schedule sucks.
Everybody's schedule sucks.
Everybody's not playing on 1 day of rest, though.
I'm aware, but get this, Dev. We don't have too few guys. We have too many guys.
Oh.
What is it, like depth has been the strength. Our players don't play 35 minutes a game
That's true.
regularly.
And they're all 20 years old.
Our players play the least amount of minutes of guys, and we go deep. I mean, Tyus Jones played 11 minutes last night. John Conchar didn't play 20 minutes. D'Anthony Melton played 14 minutes last night. What, he's tired? Like, come on. Justice Winslow didn't play in the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, and obviously Tillman was out for the game. He wasn't able to play. But, I mean, there's only, Brooks played 36 minutes. I have no idea why. That was 20 too many, given his level of performance.
Yeah.
And Morant played a huge number. He played 37 last night. But, I mean, the other guys, I mean, it's a higher number than usual for JV, but he gave you 19 and 16 in the game, But that's 32 minutes. There's guys around the league play 40 minutes, especially now that, like, this stuff's starting to tighten up a little bit.
Yeah.
And you had Jaren, who didn't play the night before. He didn't play at all.
Is it a thing of, too, like, trying to when Jaren's out there, everybody's like, okay, what do I do?
There's no question.
Like, it's like, where do I go?
Much more difficult, as I talked about, to implement than I thought it was going to be.
Same here.
Now, I really did. I mean, the numbers, and this is regardless of who he's on the numbers with Jaren Jackson on the court so far since he has been back are beyond atrocious. They're like minus 13 per 100 possessions with Jaren on the floor. I mean, I don't care what four he's playing with. That's crazy. And nothing I would have ever expected in a million years, right? And that is beyond the, we had the Winslow minus 19 on average, and he's kind of been extracted from the situation. But I tweeted this last night, and I believe this, and I'm sure that there's going to be, at some point somebody's going to try to tell me different. But this is my opinion, and as always, I'll tell you what I really think. I think they made this much harder than it had to be. The Jaren implementation created a domino effect that I think was unnecessary. That's my opinion, right? It's fine. You want to do it this way. You want to bring him off the bench. You want to try to, but at first, you tried to do it this way, and you tried to implement him. And in the meantime, not just implement him, you tried to make Justise a point guard. And then that didn't work. And so now you've got guys like Tyus, where there's a breach of trust that takes place there, right? They're all adults. They get paid a lot of money. If you play, you play. If you don't, you don't. Whatever, right? But when you have been consistently there and you've played every night, and that's the first sub, when Morant comes out, then so be it. You also then have this cascade effect, right, where now with Melton, it's up and it's down. And with Clark, it's up and it's down. Like, you pretty well could count on who's going to be playing regularly for this team for a long, long time, okay? And to me, so you could pretty well count on that for a long time. And then, some nights, like you had last night, Desmond Bane had to start because Grayson Allen's out, right? If Grayson comes back, then Bane's going to go back to the bench. But, I mean, so there's going to be some shuffling that takes place here and there. I just think that because of what took place and because of the decisions made in order of who to play, who not to play, right, it's almost as if you've made it so it wasn't like, hey, and now we have this amazing asset and we're going to get him involved. It's like you're back at square one. That's how it feels. It feels like you're back at square one and you have no practice time, right? So, like, you're trying to do things on the fly where you're changing things around and you're getting guys out of their comfort zone that you developed for a long, long time, right? Of getting used to playing with each other and knowing how this functions and the communication between the guys and all this stuff, right? Where to be, when to be. And it's like, I understand that Jaren is better than a plug-and-play player and that you want to run stuff for him and you want to keep him in mind or whatever else, right? But what happened is you ended up, in my opinion, you ended up making this much more difficult than it had to be because it wasn't just switching, trying to implement Jaren into the lineup. It was you're implementing Jaren in the lineup and then you moved Justise over. So now you got some hurt feelings of guys that were playing that aren't playing at all anymore, right? Like they've been benched completely. And I understand you just got to stay ready, whatever, but the results were poor, right? And then you said, okay, well, now we're scrapping the Justise thing, and now we're going to have Jaren, but he's still going to be coming in with the bench. And now, like, you fast forward to last night, it's like, all right, no Tyus. And it's like, I don't to me, like, I understand wanting to extend ceiling, be better than what you have been. But at this point, I feel like you have done a disservice to, in the attempt to try to be better, it has gotten exponentially worse, right? And in the process, created some, this is part of coaching beyond the whole saying something that just isn't true after the game like we fought hard. Part of coaching is the managing of egos and the massaging of egos and dealing with these players. And there's no way around it. Like guys that typically were used to playing and used to playing as a group together and they were getting minutes on a regular basis, that has changed for them. It's changed. Roles that were once somewhat defined have become undefined. Where, and guys like consistency. They do. They like knowing I'm going to play, this is about how many minutes I get every night. Like and to me, this team has overachieved doing it that way. And now to scrap that, and almost like it doesn't matter, and there's no question the quality of play has gone down dramatically. Okay. And there are two things that I've said are reasonable. A, yes, the schedule is piling up. It is a lot of games in a short amount of time. You're going to be fatigued. The Jaren thing and implementing him and implementing a player of his ability is not easy. It's not, right? Because he's not just a role player that you could just plug and play.
Yeah.
He's much better than that, and you want to use him differently than that, right? But so those I accept that to be true. I also think you have compounded those issues because your depth has not been a plus for you. And the team consistently had one of the best benches, despite whatever anybody's individual numbers. By and large, there was a real strength in numbers. And there was a consistency to the bench and what they gave you on a regular basis. And so, to me, you had kind of what you had, and then you do have to find a way to get Jaren involved in this. That you've got to find a way to get, but it is Jaren who has to fit into it. It's just like it was Justise who has to fit into it, and let it go slowly. You know what I'm saying? Like you're already bringing him along where he's coming off your bench. You're already bringing him along where he's not playing back-to-backs. Like you don't have to make all of these changes just because he's back in the mix. And keep trying to figure out which other guy can get pissed off because now he doesn't play at all. You know? Like, it's just hard, and I do think it hurts chemistry. Like, do they look like a together team to you? I mean, they look lost.
Yeah, they do. They look totally lost.
They look lost, and I think there's a lot of lost.
You don't get beat by the Magic.
No.
You get beat by the Pistons.
There's a lot of lost. There's a lot of broken confidence.
Yeah, they lost their composure against the Knicks. They got blown out by Portland. Like, it's yeah.
Well, and the other thing is, look, anybody that listens to this show, you know I came in here yesterday and I goofed about the Minnesota thing, which they needed every bit of that game to win it, and they needed every bit of 37 out of Ja. But I came in here and I told you, I said, I suppose there's no game tape. I suppose there's no game tape that they had of Morant. I'm thrilled that they did it that way, but that was just, I watched the game and I'm like, this is ludicrous. Like, what is wrong with you? Well, you saw last night? That's a rat team. At least they had the old, they had watched some game film where they said, okay, if this guy beats us, like, we're going to let him stand out there and shoot threes. Go ahead. Bury us from the three-point line if you want, but you're not coming in here. You're not, this is not going to be easy for you. And it was like, oh, well, evidently the old game tapes for the Grizzlies made it to Detroit. They watched a few of them before they played against them. But then you saw, especially down through the stretch of that game, bro, we had nothing.
No.
Nothing.
Like,
No push.
it was like Ja,
Nope.
just like, and then it was like every once in a while he threw it over to Dylan, and then Dylan would go and do something himself. It was just standing around. No movement, not just wretched offense.
Yeah.
No, nobody moving, nobody doing anything. It was like, Ja, do something.
Yeah.
And, of course, they're now, like, that was a team that despite the lack of players they had was like, all right, we're not going to let Ja do something.
Dude, they even Wayne Ellington was going off. They put him on the bench because he was there like, dude, stop hitting shots.
Hitting too many.
Hitting too many shots.
Yeah.
Oh, they're going to, trust me, they're going to bench Corey Joseph. He's out there like Chris Paul.
They did it to Hamidou Diallo. He dropped 37 the next game. Like, you know what? We need you to sit
They're
down. They're
going to run out of guys to sit.
You're doing too much.
I mean, that is humiliating.
Yeah, it's bad.
You know what I'm saying?
Bad.
It's humiliating. And I just think that you have guys that have some broken confidence. I do.
Yeah.
Beyond the fatigue. Because what they were accustomed to is not what's happening now, right? And you kind of got abandoned, and benched for the, like, I don't know, man. I get wanting more. I do. I get wanting more, but look, did y'all not feel like things were going good?
Yeah, it felt like
they were going good. Like, why? Why is the implementing of Jaren have to change everything? Yeah. It just doesn't to me.
I feel like you feel like you should be better.
Right.
With your second best player.
Like,
on the court.
and you're implementing this guy.
Yeah.
But that's one guy you got to get minutes for. That doesn't mean you have to bench a different guy every game.
Yeah.
And tighten up the lineup and do, like, I don't. And, like, what are we doing with Conchar last night? Why is
it's searching?
The Tyus Jones thing is like, okay, all right, the Justise thing's over. Now you're a backup point guard again. Oh, wait, no, forget that. You're not our backup point guard again.
Then Tyus.
And it's like, what? John Conchar hasn't played all year.
Yeah. It's searching.
And he was good. It was good. But
it's reaching for something.
It's good. But, I mean, look, Conchar's going to be fine. How are you going to continue to get the best of Tyus? Which is, I'm sorry, it's what you got now.
Yeah.
You may not like it, but it's your best, and you had a bench unit of which should only be enhanced because you're adding Jaren to it. It's like, oh my God, now you're adding Jaren to this? But instead, like I said, it was too many dominoes that ended up falling.
Yeah. Because
it's like, this guy gets benched, this guy gets benched, this guy's not playing with this guy anymore, and it's like, hold on now. This all didn't have to happen,
Yeah.
Like, we went through the Justise thing, and that was brutal, but, like, they made a decision, okay, we're not having the the justice thing. And, like, again, you first time for the coach to go through all of this stuff. I mean, you didn't hire a guy that's been in the league for 30 years, right? You hired a guy that's, going to learn as he goes too.
Yeah.
And
just as the team goes.
One of the things, though, that I think, this is my opinion, is the effect that it's not just all X's and O's and the analytics and who, we took good shots, we didn't take good shots, like all of the stuff that goes into it, right? That the basketball business, just like any business, is a people business. It's a people business. It is. And I do fear that they do not look like a team with 100% buy-in right now. No. Like, I mean, it's hard. Does it feel like they're all pulling the same rope?
I feel like
I'm saying that they're all. When was the last time you saw guys, get super excited? I'm saying, like, everybody is selfish to a point. Everybody's got an ego, right? And so now it's just it's awkward when all of a sudden, now you're hanging out with people that, no longer are doing what they're doing. I liken it to if we went, like, let's just say, Jessica and Megan, like, they just decided one day, they say, all right, we're taking away your show. And now tomorrow we go down to the third floor and we're all, like, just sitting around a table and hanging out. Like, it's weird, man. It's just weird, right? When that happens in any workplace, like, because they're feeling some kind of way about the whole thing, and that happens in locker rooms, right? You think Brandon Clark's been thrilled? Yeah, I mean, and this because I don't think you ever had an issue, and especially with a young team, the way this is. They do pick up on everything, read everything, see all the tweets, everything else. But beyond that, you better believe their texts are filled after the games they don't play.
Yeah.
That's coaching in this new age, is dealing with that, right? Which is why ain't coach playing you? Coach isn't doing you right and whatever. And when you're doing well and you're winning and you're consistently playing minutes and whatever, now all of a sudden, this is the hard part, right? The hard part is now when you bench some guys, and some guys, now what they felt comfortable in, it's not the same anymore, right? They go home and their wife's like, what's going on here? Why are you, like, what I'm saying? Tyus Jones goes home to his wife and kids. She's like, what's going on here? Yeah. Right? Like, bro, you played 20 minutes a game since you got here. And now all of a sudden, like, you're not the backup point guard anymore? Or they're trying to find anything they can to, like, that's crazy.
Well, so Tyus is like, I'm the problem? Like, I'm the problem?
Right.
And then Tyus is back in the lineup and Justise on the bench, and now Justise is like, wait, I'm the problem?
And then Brandon.
And then Brandon's on the bench, or Tillman's on the bench. Wait, what? Tillman will be fine. Like, he's a rookie, so he's fine.
Well,
he's fine.
I think some of those dudes, though, like, they understand, I guess, some of it. Some of it is that, like I was, like, last year, it was me, Jaren, and BC, us three. Now I'm on the bench. Like, it's some of that, but it's also, like, the good vibes are, like, not there. Like, all the cheering for each other. It's weird. It's really weird.
That's right.
It's weird to me because, like, it was one of the things.
It was visible.
It was visible.
Anybody could see it. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you had like one of these games, like one of the Lakers games, dude. You have Jaren, Justise, and Ja all next to each other in street clothes, standing up, talking crap to LeBron.
Yeah, that's
like just having a good time goofing around, like
and fatigue and whatever else. Yeah. You don't see that togetherness on the court right now.
Yeah,
you don't.
Not like we used to.
It looks fractured.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like looking for answers. And it's like, hold on now. Like, what happened to that stuff? And, like, you are doing this. It's not like something didn't happen. Something did happen. Right? Like, you're trying to implement Jaren, and you were also trying to implement Justise. And it's really like, honestly, like, dude, there is no blaming Justise anymore, right? Like that went. But like, you think about when they went on the road, they beat Chicago, then they turn around and beat Milwaukee on the second game of that back-to-back. Bro, that team versus the team I watched last night, that is not, I mean, that's not even, it's not even in the same hemisphere.
Yeah. I'm happy we're just going through this, though, you know, like, because we talk about lumps, like going through this stuff to, like, build it to something. I'm glad we're going through it because it's like, yeah,
well, and he's trying.
Can't always be peaches and cream.
And Taylor's desperately trying to keep the positivity.
Yeah, that's why he's never, like, in the post game, he's never going to do my team play like crap. It's going to be, we played hard because he knows them young dudes. If you say one thing like that, it's going to be there. Look at each other like, well, damn, our coach don't believe us.
Oh, no, because Jaron, I watched his post game last night. He repeated what Taylor said, and I'm like, oh, my God, are we just playing reverse game here? You know, as a
playing
fan,
repeat.
As a fan, no, I'm saying reverse game. Like I say, Taylor plays reverse game. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, I don't know. If my son goes up and he swings it 3 strikes that are like in the dirt that the catcher doesn't even catch, and he's not even close, and I tell him that you know, he's getting there and he's trending up and it's all right.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, and again, it is almost like a little kid, right? Like that I'm scared that I might hurt his confidence. And now he's older, so I do hurt his confidence. But no, like the eternal good job. You know what I'm saying? Like I could even, I mean, obviously I go through this with my daughter, right? It's like good job no matter what.
Yeah, but you also don't want to put that out there for people to kind of speculate on the issues, you know? I mean, obviously we see the issues. Like, anybody can see it. But it's like, if Coach Jenkins just says, oh, we play like crap, this, and this, it's like, all right, well, damn, even the coach is on their ass now, you know, like to the media. I'm pretty sure in the locker room he's on their ass.
I don't know.
He's on
I don't know because of what Jaron said. That's what I'm saying.
He's on their ass.
They repeat it. But how would Jaron know what Taylor said? I'm saying what Taylor said to the media is honestly, like, I'm starting to feel like it's what he says to the team, and the team, when they do their media, they repeat that. They're not giving him a thing to read.
He's not giving him like,
you know what I'm saying? So why is Jaron talking about how much fight they had?
Bro, they're on their phones all the time.
He's not giving them lollipops.
Watching it live.
He's not giving them lollipops after they lose.
I would say,
it might be.
Well, no, I would just
if
say,
Jaron walks in with a Capri Sun, I'm going to flip out.
Well, you're asking, like, how do they know what Taylor's saying, dude? They're on their phones all the time. Like,